Moon assaulter never stops assaulting.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to give you guys a little update on what's happening all across the FGC, but we're really going to be focusing on Tekken once we get deep into this. The first thing that I'll say is that there's going to be a new PlayStation State of Play on February the 12th. There's a lot of speculation about what will be there. I personally do not know, so I will not give you guys any ideas. I will be streaming it, I will be watching it, and we'll just see what happens all together. But I do want to make a note of that because people have some crazy ideas. One thing that's also very important to note as well is Marvel Tokon. They accidentally updated their Steam profile and they leaked that their base roster would have 20 characters on launch. Not only is this kind of small, but for a team game, it's really small. When I asked AI to give me the list of all the fighting game rosters and their base size, you could see that Tekken 8 has 32, the King of Fighters have 36, and you can see Smash has 74. But other than that, all of them kind of hover around this 20 to 15 range. With how big and popular the Marvel brand is and how many awesome characters is there, I feel like them starting off at 20, especially with it being a team game, I don't know if that will slow it down or not when you talk about its growth, its popularity. Regardless, once this discovery was made by the players, they quickly updated their website to what it previously said, which was basically nothing and coming soon. Moving on to the next point, I talked about this in a full video, so I'll only mention it here for those of you guys who missed it, but Riot Games cut 2XKO team size after recent launch. They cut the team by about 80 people. The reasoning why is because it just wasn't as popular as they thought it would be. They were expecting this game to radically overhaul the entire FGC, all of us was, but it didn't do that. It doesn't seem that many people were watching it on Twitch. It doesn't seem that many people were playing it. And when you look at it based off of its Evo entry numbers, it's kind of on par with all the other fighting games, which is not what they were expecting. You even had accounts like Ed Boon show his support to 2XKO. You had content creators like Ludwig show his support to 2XKO and just question what is happening with that game. A developer of another game, Dell, in this tweet basically spoke on the free-to-play model just doesn't work in fighting games. They're too niche. And I've seen a lot of other people echoing this sentiment of like putting out 11 characters, 5 per year, heavily monetizing it while also taking a long time for it to get here. It's just not a recipe for success. Hopefully this game can recover over time, but this is a major setback for them. Blast Slimy says esports would have collapsed under its own weight years ago if it wasn't being bankrolled by venture capitalists and supporting and sports washing money. Fighting games weren't meant to be business empires. Run the sets with friends, support your locals, have fun. Everything else is just noise. On the topic of noise, Tekken 8 Season 3, back to the basics. They're rolling out Season 3 in a 4-term plan. We just had Plan 1, which is basically the monetization phase. You can now purchase all of the DLC. As you can see here, I have Tekken 8 opened up itself, and you can now purchase all of the DLC along with the customizable Aurora outfit pack that you get alongside the Season 1 pass. Then they also gave us this here. These are Chinese style dresses for all the waifu characters. In this update, the male characters got nothing, but these outfits look good. I'm still very unsatisfied with the proportions of the female characters. I mean, look at Jiayu's hand in comparison to her head. Look at Jiayu's forearm in comparison to like her bicep. I know the developers said they wanted to continue working on the female characters and try to fine tune them. I hope that they continue doing that because they look a little bit jank. Thank you for subscribing. The next thing that is a part of this update is week 1 of the special deals. This is something that they'll be doing for 5 weeks leading up to the second phase of Season 3, but right now these are the outfits that you could get for half off. And then also the second anniversary campaign character panels for Season 1 and Season 2 is available for free in the shop. You just go there, get it for free. For the holographic Aurora pack, the developers gave us this little sneak peek here of Jin, Kazuya, and Reina. So for you guys, you can see kind of what it looks like in game. But for everyone else, we're going to have to either purchase it or see someone else use it. Another thing that I will say is on the topic of balance. Balance will not be addressed in this update here. And the rank reset will be done on March 17th. you can see the 3 bullet points that they list out in the update details of how they want to be addressing balance. What I also would like to note as well about this update is that the developers have done another basically rollout of bans for people who's been intentionally disconnected from the game, cheating, online battle idling, which is kind of crazy that people could get banned for that. I mean, like if they lose, right? But then inappropriate skins, names, and messages. One of the most notorious cheaters of the past couple of months was the player by the name of Tōkon. I did a video on him and it went really viral. A lot of people just really dislike cheating and the way that people are cheating in the game. So when you have someone streaming and doing that, he kind of becomes the focal point of the player's wrath. And he felt it. He felt all of the wrath. He felt everyone trying to come after him. And he eventually apologized and he said he would do the right thing. And if you've been watching his streams or at least popping in here and there, you can see not only did he demote all the way back to where he initially was and he started to play the game more legit, he's been getting coaching from other players. He's been actually going into practice mode. I know a lot of people say that they will never forgive him. But for me personally, I love when I see someone stop doing a bad thing and start doing the right thing. And I feel like that deserves some kind of credit. We all say stop cheating, but when that cheater stops cheating, we got to give them some kind of praise for that to incentivize other cheaters to follow in their footprints. But as for all the people who reported him, as you can see with this website, ewgf.gg, this is a website that categorizes a lot of player data. You can see your matches and whatnot. But as for Tōkon, you can see that his account has been flagged by the person who runs this website for cheating. The evidence, when I clicked on it and looked, it linked back to my video and some other clips as well. But you can see that they are aware of this guy's behavior and what he used to do in the past. But when you go into Tekken 8 and you look at his profile yourself, you can see that the developers did not take action against this guy. So I have been wondering since the game came out, how have the developers been going about banning people? And we really don't see too much of a difference, but also I would argue that there's not many that cheaters in terms of players. For the active players over the past 30 days, there has been 426,000 of them. That's a big number. I know people probably don't believe it, but that's how many people play this game throughout the past 30 days. And out of that, how many people are cheating? Probably not much. But the people who are reported and the people who are reported the most, you would assume that the Tekken developers would take action against them. But like I said, you can see here with Tōkon account, the developers did not take action against him. Why? I don't know, but he was definitely one of the most reported players of the past couple of months. Now, also, I want to show you the player count as well, because I know a lot of people are going to take issue with the claim that I just said about the 426,000 active players over the past 30 days. But you can see that number here is presented on this website. I spoke with the person who makes this website, and they explained to me in very detail about how everything is collected and ran. It's pulled from Wank Waivu. That website is very respected and used by pretty much every pro player. So we know that the data is accurate and is being updated consistently. And when you look at the data, you can see that season 2, even though it's more hated than season 1, it's more popular than season 1. And season 1 was more popular than Tekken 7. And Tekken 7 was more popular than Tag 2 and Tekken 6. So by default, Tekken 8 season 2 is the most played modern Tekken. It's also the most hated and controversial, but there's a lot of players who are just silently gaming and having a good time. And I think that's reflective in the players and the viewership. At this current time, there's a lot of people watching on Twitch. There's a lot of people creating content. There's a lot of people making tweets. That's not something that happens with a player base that's dead and only has 10,000. I see new names and new players every day, and it's cool to see so many people interacting with the game. The last thing that I'll say is that I hope that the developers will do the right thing and make the game something that all of those players can enjoy, and not just the people who are new, the people who are bad, the people who are good. Make it something that everyone can enjoy. I think Tekken 7 did it best, and I think Tekken 8 is not too far away from it.